Hey guys, Potato Tech here, and I just wanted to make a video about how I got into 3D modeling. Um, so at first I had no clue what to do. I all my sketches were unconstrained, and I was wondering what was happening. I was wondering why it's so hard, but then after a while learning how the program works, you you just do it, and it works. You just Yeah, you can just model parts. It's actually really simple. These right now are just things I found online. I'm just gonna show you how you could do something like this. It's actually very, very simple. In my opinion, it's easier than Tinkercad, and because Tinkercad is just like, it's not really parametric, which is really annoying. Like if I messed up in Tinkercad, I would do Control Z, which undoes something. And if I wanted to go, yeah, I can't explain it really well, but it's very confusing. I basically had to start over when using Tinkercad. But this program, Fusion 360, is honestly the best CAD thing out there, in my opinion. Very, very powerful piece of software. It's free for student education license I have. Um, so yeah, so basically how I start practicing is I just go on Google and look up technical drawing practice and click on images, and here you go. So many images. You can just like choose something, and yeah, it's very simple. Look, I don't know what that is, but yeah. Um, yeah, so I went online. Oh, that's very complicated. As you see, this is totally a technical drawing. Yeah, but here's like a good part that you would want to model, like just to practice with. Who knows what it's for? Who knows? I have no clue. But it's a nice part. So what I did, I just downloaded the image, I saved it, and now it's on my other screen right here. So I'm gonna be referencing that on how to model that this part. This is what we're gonna be modeling, and I'm still a beginner, but I want to show you how easy it is, even though that I'm a beginner. So what I did, I made a folder. I just made a folder called practice, and that's all I really did. And I can close that out if I want, just for more room. So you can click this plus if a thing is not open for you, a page, but now that gives me OCD. So the first thing you're going to want to do before you do anything is click this button, the save button, and name it. I'm going to name it AutoCAD because that's the website, I guess, where I got it from. And I'm going to name it whatever part this is. It's 27. That's the name of it, so I'm just going to do that. So once you save it, everything is going to auto-save into the Fusion 360 cloud, I call it. So this is actually uploaded to the internet, so you can, it's basically like Google Drive, but cooler. So you're gonna need internet if you're gonna wanna like save models and stuff, but you can use it offline. I just never really had to, so whatever. Um, so once you save it, it will keep auto saving. Again, like Google Docs. I don't really know how often though, but so actually, if you're gonna be using 3D modeling for like 3D printing, I really recommend you to click your little profile picture here and click preferences. And then this default modeling orientation. I recommend you just changing it to Z up so it basically matches your 3D printer orientation. And there was another thing I wanted to show you. Oh yeah, here it is. I'll keep that parametric. That should be default. Where is it? Here, this scale entire sketch at first dimension. You want that checked. That's basically so if you put a dimension on something and it's very big and it's tangent to you want it tangent to something, it will just deform the entire sketch, which is very annoying. So let's just get started. The first thing in every model you make is save it so it can auto save, and then the next step that is important is you have to click new component and then name it to what the part is called. I have no clue what this part is called. I'm just going to name it part 27, so that's the name of the part. And then I can click this arrow. Oh, also, your document settings. Make sure it's in your units that you're using. I'm using millimeters. So yeah, once you open up the part, it will become active. And then you're going to want to click the origin. Like, you're going to want to turn it on. And that's basically it. This is the origin. This is 0, 0. So since I want to model this on the 3D printing, so it can be imported into the slicer upright. So this part will be flat on the bottom. It'll be imported the correct way. I'm sorry, I can't explain things, but yeah. So the first thing you wanna do is go on this plane right here, the green and red one, because as you see here on this cube, the view cube, the X and the Z, and the Y is back there. See? So this is basically like your 3D printer orientation. So this is the bottom. This is the print bed basically, and you can create a sketch right here. You're gonna right click on that plane and then create the sketch. Now it's basically like a piece of paper, but you're drawing it virtually. So you're gonna wanna go look at your drawing, and you're gonna wanna start in a spot. You're gonna really wanna start where it's circular. So you can start here, here, or here. You can actually start anywhere, but it will just be a lot simpler to start where there's something you can reference. Where should I start? Now, this is you can see that this is pretty much centered. So I may start there. I might start on this circle. Yeah, I'm going to start there. Okay? So what I'm going to want to do is go to Create tab, because you're creating something, and you're going to want to click a circle. I'm going to use center diameter. That just basically it starts from the center and goes out. And you're going to want to click the center of this. This is the origin you want to click, and drag. You don't have to hold your mouse button down. You can just let go and then it will do this. And then when you click again, and there's a circle. And now this circle, you're going to want to dimension it. So you click the sketch dimension. You're going to want to click that. You want to click the circle because you want to dimension that. You're going to right click and click radius. Now you can only do this radius command in the dimension button. You're going to click again to place it. And now I know this radius is a radius of 5 millimeters. Now you can zoom to that part. And now it's basically, it's basically scaled now. Because as you remember, we were looking out all the way over here, but now it's over here. So there's actually another circle. Just gonna click circle. Doesn't matter where you put it. You should put it under that circle because that's where it is. It doesn't matter what size. Now that circle is actually the same radius circle. So you have these constraints here. All of these constraints. Now these are very powerful. These are what can make or break your model. Now you're going to want to learn how to use these because they're very, very helpful. But some of them are straightforward, like equal. I want this circle equal with this circle. Now as you see, this circle is the same radius as this. But as you see, the circle is still blue. That means I can still move it around. That means it's not constrained. So if I want to constrain if I want to constrain this circle from this circle, I want to line it up, right? So what I'm gonna do is click out of here. I can click this horizontal vertical thing. I can click this circle, and then I can click the center of this circle, and as you see, it snaps in line with this circle. Now, if I click escape, I can do stuff, and then as you see, I can't move this circle left or right. I can only move it up and down because it's constrained with that. So how do I lock this from going up and down? Well, it's simple. You click the sketch dimension and you dimension it from the drawing, which is 34, and now as you see, it turns black. And then also, to know that your sketch is fully constrained, there would be a little red lock on the left, meaning that your sketch is fully constrained, and if you click on any of your things, they won't move because they are constrained. They're locked in place. So that's basically the start of that. Now I want to model the rectangle. So I'm going to create a center point rectangle because I feel like it. And actually, that center point rectangle may not work because it's locked into the middle. So I'm actually going to click a 2-point rectangle, which has 2 points. So I'm going to click there and there. It matches the drawing better. As you see, the different rectangles help you differently. Well, you can use the same, but it doesn't really matter. But yeah. So I click escape because I accidentally clicked a circle. So now I want to know how big this rectangle is. As you see, I can move it up and down and like that because it's not constrained. The sketch went back to a pencil because I can move this. It doesn't know where it is. in relation to the circles. So this rectangle is actually a specific distance of... See, this rectangle actually goes here to here, but it's only telling me the 40 because of these things. But actually, I'm going to show you something different. I'm going to actually put these in my sketch, but you don't have to. But I'm going to. Usually you want to keep your sketches simple, and but honestly, this is pretty simple still. You can click the line tool, click this, and go down. As you see the little 90-degree thing on the bottom, that means it's perpendicular to this line down here. So this line will always be perpendicular to this line, because Fusion was smart enough to know that I want it like that. So if this is perpendicular, then that must be perpendicular up there, I think. Yeah, see, as you see, it just... Now this, yeah, whatever. Now I'm going to want to create another line on this side. And now I want to constrain it, which is this rectangle is 75. This, as you see, it's highlighting this long blue line. That you don't want that. You want to just dimension this point to this point. I want that 40. Now I want to dimension this point to this point. I want that 12. I want to dimension this point to this point. I want that 12. Now as you see, this is still... It's now the whole thing is constrained, but I still can move the entire thing. It needs to be perfect though. So since this picture is showing, so that circle is in the center of that rectangle. The entire line, it's in the center. Show you what I can do is actually create a point on this line. I can click midpoint. I want this point in the center of this line. Okay? And then that means that point is on this line, right? But I want this point to be in line with these circles. So I can just click there. But as you see, it can still move up and down, which is not good. Now I'm trying to figure out the distance to... I want that. Now I don't think they gave me that dimension, so we're gonna have to assume it's in the middle. So this rectangle is 75, so I'm gonna want... So now, since I'm a beginner, I'm still showing you that you can figure this out on your own. So let me think about this. How do I want this centered? So what I'm going to do is create a line actually right here. But as you see, I'm going to click this green check mark because I'm done with the line. I'm going to click escape and I'm going to click this. Now this is a line, it's an object. I don't want it to be an object. I just want it to be a reference. So I'm going to make it a construction line. And as you see, it becomes dotted. Okay, now I want this to be in the middle of these two circles. So I want what am I doing? Okay, so what I'm going to do is make a line from here to this circle. I'm going to click the green thing to finish my line. I'm going to make that line. I'm going to escape, click that line, and make it a construction line because I don't want it to be an object. I want it to be like a reference. And then I can click out of there. Now I'm going to create a point on that line. I'm going to make it a midpoint on that line. And I'm going to use this symmetry constraint. So I'm going to click this line and this line. I want it to be symmetric. I forgot to make the line there. So forget that. I'm going to make a line. As you see, if I hover over this point, you see the dotted line? It's actually letting me... It's actually keeping the alignment with my mouse. So I can just click here and go here. I can keep that as a construction line. And now what I can do is create the symmetry. I can click this line, and then I can click the construction line. That did not work, did it? Oh, I want this. This line was not, as you see, it wasn't constrained. So I'm going to redo that. I'm going to click the line, go here, I can go like this, I can click the green thing, it's not constrained, I want to constrain it, I want this line on that point, now it's constrained. Now this coincidence thing, it takes a line and a point, it basically lines it up with something. Now I can click the symmetry, click this line, and I want it to be equal, well, symmetric with this. Now this distance from this point to the edge of that circle is the same as this edge of that circle to this edge. That's basically my workaround since they gave us no dimension, but you can obviously see that it's centered. So I can... No, we're not done with the sketch. I'm going to create... Let's see. I want to create an arc. I want a 3-point arc. I want it here. That's the start point. I want to click here. And this is important. You don't want to go this way. You want to go this way. And as you see, this little thing right here, that means it wants to be tangent. It's going to automatically do the tangency for us without having to click up here, which is good. But as you see, it's a dotted line. It's construction. I don't want it to be construction, so I can just click this construction and then it will turn to an object. And I want that to be locked in as a tangent line, so I can just click and it will be tangent with this line. But as you see, this is not right. But that's okay. I can create a line, and I'm going to redo that, just to show you, give you a visuals. As you see, it's locking in as a horizontal line. Yes, you want that to be horizontal according to the sketch, the drawing, but actually, on purpose, I'm just gonna show you that you don't. It is quicker to do it this way, as it automatically does give you the constraint. But if it doesn't give you the constraint, you can just finish that line and actually click horizontal vertical on that line, and it'll take the nearest angle it is. So if it's more horizontal, it'll be horizontal. If it's more vertically, it'll make it a vertical line. It's smart enough to know that. But as you see, this is not a good line. So you can just click this line to be tangent with that one, and boom, look, it makes a perfect arc. Oops, whatever. Um, and then this, we can create another 3-point arc like this here. Boom. As you see, it's automatically doing the tangent for us. But I'm going to not do that because I want to show you the constraints. And you can just finish this drawing. That made a constraint there. And then you can create another arc. I keep saying arch. You can go here. I want that tangent. That tangent worked, but this one I did on purpose. So I can make that tangent. I can make this tangent. I can make this tangent. And boom. But as you see, these things, this could be very long. And it's just ruined. Like, look at this. Look, did you see that? It's just ugly. So we want to constrain it. And how you do that is with dimensions. So this, no, not that one. I want this radius to be 20. I want to use the equal constraint because I want this radius to be the same radius as this. And then I want this radius to be 20. Whoops. Oh wait, I can't. Why can't I? Oh, I know why. It don't want me to, whatever. Anywho. That's rude. It don't want me to do that. But anyways, I want this to the end of this. As you see, it's clicking the center of that circle. I don't want that. So I can right click and click pick circle / arc tangent. And I'm gonna have to redo that. I want to click this. I want to right click, pick circle, arc tangent. And then it makes it tangent right here to there. So then I can make that 70. But I don't understand why this radius is 17.5. What it wants to be 20. But this radius here is 20, which is good. But it don't want that one. But honestly, I don't think it matters. Now I'm gonna want to make a circle right on that dot, and I can make it as big as I want. And click, and then I can dimension it to be 6. But as you see, that's a diameter. I don't want it to be a diameter. I can right click. No, I can right now I can right click it and click radius, but now it changed, so I have to boost. What is happening? Okay, there we go. I don't like how that's not correct, but this is, whatever. I really don't care anymore. It's close enough, but that's not the point. The point is to do this. So as you see, this sketch is fully constrained, I think. I don't know why it's not showing that it's locked, but as you see, all the lines are black, so it's constrained. So we can finish the sketch. As you see, this is our sketch that we made. And now we're going to want to extrude this. According to the drawing, you want to extrude it up 12. Now what I'm going to do is click this. I can click this. Oh, I have to click the extrude first. I can click extrude. I can click this. I can click this. I can click this. And I can click this. And then it goes up 12. As you see here, you can use the arrows if you want. It's kind of satisfying. This whole program is like satisfying with their buttons. But yeah, I want that to be 12. As you see, the sketch went away, but we need to do more from that sketch. So we can click that sketch again. And actually, we can go under and click the things that we want with my control key. And click E for extrude. It's another way. Instead of clicking that button, it just makes it faster. As you see, Fusion knows that it thinks I want to cut this because I'm extruding into a body that I have already done, but I don't want it to be cut. I want it to be a join. Alright? And that goes up to 52. That's also a join. So we're starting to get there, and then we can turn that sketch off. We could also turn off the origin if we wanted. And now that's kind of where we are right now. Now what we want to do now is make those what are the slots. So Fusion actually has a slot thing right here. Not in a skip. So we want to make that slot. I'm not editing this video, I really don't care. I just want to make this raw as I go through and learn as I go. You see, very beginner here. I just want to prove that anyone can do it, even though it takes 45 minutes. But honestly, I don't think that's too bad for a beginner. Now, those slots. I can make this sketch here, on this side, or wherever. I can even make it in the middle where the origin is, which you should, but you don't have to. You can just do it here. If it's just whatever. You can create a sketch on that plane. Now there's a piece of paper on that. Think of it as a piece of paper on that that side of the body. Now we can draw on that side of the body and create a slot. I'm gonna do a I'm gonna make a slot that is this big. Gonna make make a slot. I can click the first part and then the second part, and then I can go out like this. Now, of course, I pick a drawing where they don't tell you the slot thickness, like how big the hole is. I really picked a bad drawing for this, but it's okay. We can just guess. So we can create a dimension. What radius do we want this? It's showing a 7, but I think that's the fillet that we're going to be doing later. So I'm just going to make this a 7 radius. There we go. As you see, you could still move it, but which is no good. We don't want that. We actually want the slot edge to be, we actually want this to be tangent. We actually want this to be 7. And we want this, we should want that to be 7 as well. I did that wrong. As you see, it went to the center of that radii. I can click this, I can click that, and again, I can click 7. Now, the problem with this is I can move it up and down, but I can't move it left and right. We want that to be, we can also just say it's 7. So this line to here is 7. Now it's fully constrained. Now this is the fun part, where we can click E for extrude and it will exit out of the sketch for us. Or we can just click finish sketch up here, or we can click E, finish sketch. As you see, it's fully constrained, but that one, some reason, is not, but whatever. As you see, this is our profile that we made, and we can click E, or we can come up here to create extrude. We can click E again. I keep saying we can click E, or we can click extrude. I prefer the E key. But as you see, you type in numbers, it's going the wrong way. But that's okay. We can use this arrow and do that. But as you see, this is not good practice. It is not good practice to do this and just click OK. That is not okay. Because if this is parametric, if you want to edit this thickness, and it's only going like, if you edit the thickness, it's going to look like this, where it doesn't go all the way through. You can either click the distance all, which if you edit this thickness right here, it'll still go, it will still cut through. It's like programming with parameters, but the parameters are easier to understand. Yeah, or my favorite is to object. I like clicking this face. So no matter how big this is, matter how thick this part is, it'll still go to this face. Always that face. It'll always cut through it. I can click OK. Now, you see there on the drawing, there's these fillets, which are basically arcs, but Fusion has a fillet command. You can click the fillet here, you can click modify and click fillet, or you can click the F key. And you're going to want to click the edges where you want to fillet. I want to fillet there, 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 and there. How big are these fillets? I don't know, however big you want, but since this radii is, oh, as you see, I clicked, you can actually click. It'll match the radius. That's right there. And that's actually what I want to do. I actually want to make this 7. So that you can just click a radius, another dimension, and it will import it for you. But as you see, you click the home, and this part is complete, I think. These slots actually do look a bit too big. So, you know what we can do? We can go back in the sketch, but I don't know what sketch it is. You can actually click this. You can click on a face that you want to learn where it came from. As you see, it's this extrude. So obviously the thing before it is the sketch that we want. So we can double click on the sketch and we can change that radius to, let's say, 5. As you see it updates, you can finish the sketch. But now our fillet is different because, yeah, we can edit that feature and change that to 7 or 5. And then we're done. You could have kept it 7 if you wanted to, but it doesn't really matter. Unless you're just practicing, so it doesn't matter. But if this was some real stuff, then yeah, you're gonna want to make it exact as possible. So this was a kind of easy part, but they did leave out a few dimensions. Like, how would I have known that this is centered? I don't know the size of this. I don't know the size of the. What is it called? I don't know the size of the slots. But yeah, as you see up here, there's a little star. That means you didn't save. Even though that it does auto-save in the cloud, you should still click save. And then you can make a description called finished. That you don't have to, but it's nice just to know it's there. What I do at the end is click activate. I click this component. I click the home button. And then I save it. Oh, well, I should change it to finished. Now it's finished. So now here, it will show you the part that you've made. So I recommend you just going online, looking up technical drawing practice, and it should come up fairly easily. So yeah, that's basically it. This is Fusion 360 and Tinkercad. I'm sorry, but I don't like you. Um, it don't work for me. It doesn't work with my brain. But yeah, this is what's getting me through a lot during this quarantine. Just practicing. I want to show you something I'm proud of, though. In my where is it? Here. I've actually made a water tower. Like a fully scaled water tower. Like this is to scale, 1-to-1 scale of a water tower in my computer. As you see, it's a 6.4 meter radius. Yeah. This is an actual this is actual scale 1-to-1 water tower. I found technical drawing online of one. And actually, you see this little thing down here. This is an N scale. So I basically converted it to 0.04 meters instead of 4 meters. Well, it's not really 4 meters, but yeah, whatever. This is 1/160th scale. So I can export this, and it's in N scale. This is in 1-to-1 scale, real life. Okay, so that's basically it. That's what I'm proud of. I copied it from online. Well, I copied the technical drawing, but yeah, you can do whatever you want. just for practice. So yeah, that's basically Fusion 360. It's very fun. You should play around with it. That's my video. I I want to do this more often. I just need to get better at explaining things, and I gotta probably find better technical drawings because this one I was missing a few things. But yeah, that's maybe it wasn't missing a few things, and maybe I was just dumb. But yeah, we're gonna finish this video off right now. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.